Imagine discovering a rare photo of a legendary actress that makes you stop and look twice, not because it is shocking, but because it reveals a side of her that audiences rarely saw. That is exactly what makes some of Romy Schneider's lesser-known photographs so fascinating. They offer a glimpse beyond the glamorous movie star image and raise an interesting question. Who was the real woman behind one of Europe's most famous faces? Before exploring those photographs, it is important to understand who Romy Schneider really was. She was far more than a beautiful actress. Born in 1938, Romy became internationally famous at a remarkably young age. Her breakthrough came through the Sissi films, where she portrayed the young Empress Elizabeth of Austria. Audiences adored her, and the role made her a household name. But there was a problem. Romy did not want to spend her entire life being remembered as the sweet and innocent Sissi. She wanted something much more challenging. She wanted serious roles, complicated characters, and the freedom to create an identity beyond the image audiences had created for her. That desire for independence became one of the defining parts of her career. As she moved into more mature productions, she demonstrated an impressive emotional range. She could portray love, sadness, fear, determination, and vulnerability with remarkable intensity. Her performances showed that there was much more beneath the glamorous appearance that had made her famous. This is where her lesser-known photographs become particularly interesting. Rather than simply viewing them as celebrity images, they can be understood as part of the larger story of how Romy Schneider wanted to control her public image. Some photographs presented her in a much more natural and unguarded way than the carefully prepared publicity pictures audiences were accustomed to seeing. There is something powerful about photographs like these. They do not necessarily show a movie character or a carefully constructed celebrity persona. Instead, they can reveal expressions, poses, and moods that feel more personal. Some images appear confident, while others seem quiet and reflective. Together, they create a different impression of the woman behind the famous name. At the time, celebrity photography was often heavily controlled. Studios wanted stars to maintain carefully designed public identities. For an actress who had become famous playing an idealized royal figure, escaping that image was especially difficult. Romy increasingly wanted audiences to recognize her as an adult artist rather than simply the young actress they remembered from her earliest films. That transformation was not always easy. Fame brought enormous attention, but it also brought pressure. Romy experienced difficult relationships, personal losses, and periods of emotional hardship throughout her life. Behind the elegant photographs and successful films was a woman dealing with challenges that the public could not always see. Perhaps that is why her photographs continue to attract interest today. They remind us that celebrities are not simply the images presented to audiences. There is always another story behind the photograph. There is a person with dreams, fears, ambitions, disappointments, and private struggles. Romy's story also shows how difficult it can be for a performer to escape an image that made them famous. Many actors become associated with one unforgettable character, but Romy refused to let Sissi define her forever. She took risks, worked with respected filmmakers, and built a career that demonstrated her dramatic ability. Her photographs therefore become more meaningful when viewed alongside her career. They represent a woman who was constantly trying to redefine herself. She was not interested in remaining frozen in the past. She wanted to grow, experiment, and show audiences different sides of her personality. And that may be the real reason Romy Schneider remains unforgettable. It is not simply because of her beauty or fame. It is because she continued searching for something deeper. She wanted to be recognized as an actress, an individual, and a woman with her own identity. Today, decades after her passing, people still remember Romy Schneider and continue discovering different chapters of her life. Her photographs may capture only a single moment, but her career tells a much larger story about identity, confidence, independence, and transformation. So when you look at a rare photograph of Romy Schneider, try to see more than the image itself. Think about the actress who spent her life trying to move beyond expectations. Think about the young star who became an international icon, then challenged the very image that made her famous. Romy Schneider was never just Sissi. She was a talented actress who wanted to be taken seriously, a woman who experienced both extraordinary success and profound hardship, and a performer who left behind a legacy that continues to fascinate audiences around the world. What do you think made Romy Schneider so unforgettable? Was it her beauty, her acting ability, or the courage she showed in constantly reinventing herself? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and stay with us for more stories about legendary stars whose lives were far more complicated than the pictures ever revealed.